Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking Real Housewives of Atlanta. Anything I say is alleged in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous T. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous T Podcast. Free to follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous T Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram, he's at AnonymousRealityT. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so that it gets out into the algorithm. Free to share with your family, your friends, and your foes, you guys. And free, you guys, whether you're coming or going, to like the video. So we're talking Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 1. And we're just going to kind of go over just some quick thoughts, some initial reactions. I think it has a potential for a good new season. I think that they tried to rework some things to try to bring back some of the essence of Real Housewives of Atlanta, which I believe is friendships, number one. So really showing how they're trying to center Shamia as like the nucleus of everything, and her being intertwined with kind of bringing in some of the old seasoned housewives of Atlanta versus ushering in some new housewives. I thought they did a good job of capturing that. Also, I felt like we saw the 6-minute preview of Shamia's house and everything else. That's what we need to get back to as it pertains to Real Housewives of Atlanta. So we saw a little bit of that in the episode, which is like, you know, the bougie, the glitz, the glam. So we saw, of course, Shamia's house, the 2 elevators. Please sign me up for the elevator that just goes to my closet. Yes, please. Also, we saw that she got a nearly $500,000 Rolls Royce for her 42nd birthday and all of the things. And then we saw as well, Kelly, her daughter's 17th birthday, got 17 different designer bags. No, what? Now, for the show and everything else, you know, I see how I was brought up. It's one thing if we just did like one nice bag, you know, but I don't know about 17. I think I would have, since she was going off to college or whatever her plans are, maybe one nice designer bag, and, you know, and maybe something else like, hey, you know, we're paying your college tuition, or hey, like, here's a care package for you going to college. Let's put this together. I don't know. I would have been creative with something else, but that's just me. But yeah, old girl got a Prada bag, got a Chanel bag. She said it was her first Chanel bag. Got so all types of designer bags, y'all. And she talked about she wanted a Birkin, y'all. She wanted a Birkin, but I mean, I guess if you add all 17 of those bags up, it'll come up to the price of the Birkin. But nonetheless, then we saw a very bougie tea party type of birthday celebration. So it's things like that we like about the housewives shows, where it's just something bougie and extravagant for no reason, but we're thoroughly entertained by it, y'all. Also, you know, we'll get into the, you know, I guess the faux pas. I guess fumbling the bag, which would go to Kenya Moore. Kenya, I mean, yes, you're trending on Twitter, but is this really something to be celebrating? Because ultimately, when it's all said and done, you fumbled your spot on the show. You fumbled your peach position. You had no confessionals. Zilch. Zip, nada, nothing. Yes, the couple of scenes that you were in were, you know, funny. It was interesting because I felt Kenya's interaction with Britt reminded me a lot of Giselle's first interaction with Monique on Real Housewives of Potomac. Giselle's the one who is the divorced single mom. Monique comes in hot talking about, I'm married, I got 4 homes, this and that. Same situation we got here. Kenya's on a marathon divorce with her, you know, now ex-husband, but soon to be ex-husband. here comes, the question as to, where's your wedding band? And she's like, basically, Britt's like, well, I don't need a wedding band when my rock's this big. When I've upgraded the rock from 7.5 carats to, what does she say, 10 carats or whatever else. And I think Kenya at that point forward, I think she immediately called her assistant. She immediately called her people once this was over, once Shamia's birthday celebration was over, and was like, we need to find every gory detail on Britt that we can expose, and also ruin my position on the show in the process. Let's make it make sense. I mean, again, these newbies, they're going to come in hot, y'all. They're going to come in hot. They're going to throw shade. It's clear as day to me that Britt didn't like Kenya and wanted to show her up, because for her to make the comment, oh, who's all getting a divorce or who's all going through divorces, let's sit down. Let's have a seat. Like it's not that serious, right? Because at this point, with a lot of these housewives shows, most of these housewives are already divorced or have gone through a divorce since being on their show. So it's not a situation anymore where most of the housewives in the cast necessarily have to be married, but they might have been former housewives or whatever else. So nonetheless, Kenya, I just don't. And then for them to completely ice her out of like the premiere party, they got a key to the city, I believe, and a proclamation and all this stuff. And Kenya is just nowhere to be found. Also, I want to say as well, these new girls, in particular, Kelly, this is going to be an interesting situation. Now, Porsha was complimentary to the new girls on Watch What Happens Live. What do I think about this Porsha thing, right? So Porsha's introduced to us. It's clearly going to be the Porsha show, at least for a portion of the season. We're getting the setup. We're getting the intro. She looked cute in her workout clothes, even though we know Porsha does not work out. And she talks about, the breakdown of her and Simon. Listen, y'all. Porsha is good for the show. She lies a lot for me. And we got to keep it a buck about this Simon thing. Nobody was rooting for this. The method that they got together, production was shady to show the 18 days difference of the announcement of Simon's separation to the 18 days later, the announcement of Porsha being engaged is super duper messy. Super duper messy, y'all. But nonetheless, I think Porsha knew that Simon had skeletons, because if you're aware of what's being said and going on into the blogs, it is not a secret about Simon's previous issues, right? And whether or not he's a scammer and defrauding people and all those things. That's not new information. I think, and kind of just taking a step back, this is the same person who missed Shamia's wedding, who was supposed to be her longtime best friend. This is the same person who immediately was trying to get pregnant when Lauren, got pregnant and everything else, was desperate to try to have a baby around the same age as Lauren's baby. And then, of course, I think she really tried to put her all into Simon because he was the first person that she saw that she felt that maybe he had enough money, or it looked like he had enough money that was on par with Shamia's husband, that she felt that they could be like, doing the double dates, doing the couples vacations and all of the things, and that Porsha could flex on him. And maybe Porsha was thinking initially when she came back to this show that maybe that would be, her re-entrance into the show, was her and Simon and Shamia and her husband were the power couples that were going to anchor the show. But everything obviously blew up in smoke, and that didn't happen. I also feel that Porsha showed up late on purpose to Shamia's birthday party. Now, we understand in quote-unquote reality TV that they give you certain call times. Now, I don't know whether or not if that's the case in this instance, but what I will say is, Porsha said that because she didn't live in her and Simon's marital home, she lives back in where the home is that she gave to her mom, that it was a little bit further away. But I'm sorry, you could have had glam, and hair and everything else done way earlier. I think she showed up late on purpose, but not to steal away from Shamia's moment. I think she showed up on purpose because she didn't want to talk about Simon and how her and Simon got together. Because if y'all will pay attention, we got a best friend scene of Shamia and Porsha going to the strip club or something, to where they're doing something and having shots, and Shamia's trying to be a good friend, relay the conversation, relay the goss that Britt and Kelly were trying to tell her, and everything else as it pertained to Porsha. And Porsha knew that would probably be a topic at this birthday party, so she probably figured, okay, the later I show, by this point in time, most of the cast, they'll be tired of filming, they'll be a little bit wasted and everything else, and I can come in, make my grand entrance, and then the shift will be about the fact that I'm late versus questions grilling me about how me and Simon got together. That's what I think was going on in Porsha's mind. Is y'all can drag me for showing up late to my best friend's party, versus y'all grilling me about how me and Simon got together, because I'm not going to give that to y'all. And nonetheless, even when they tried to give it to her, even when Kelly tried to give it to her, Porsha wasn't moving. Porsha was not budging. Porsha wasn't featuring it, and said, I'm done talking about it. Next topic. She didn't give that energy. Now, some people are going to say Kelly came in hot. Kelly sounds like some of the people on social media and everything else. There are going to be other people who are going to be happy with this, because that's going to be the answer that they're going to want to know. But y'all got to know Porsha. Porsha's trying to move other things along. In Porsha's mind, because she's filed for a divorce for Simon and they're going through divorce, she wants you to erase how they got together since they're no longer together, right? So she wants you to just completely just like pretend that how they got together never happened. But that's how Porsha is. And that's why her and Phaedra, they have the freaking frack thing going, because they want you to believe what, they want you to believe. And they want to omit information, or have you have certain amnesia about information, or choose to selectively choose what they will and will not respond to. No. So, nonetheless, when you don't give that energy back, you have no choice but to move on to something else in the storyline. So, they move on and take an elevator to another part of Shamia's home that was fabulous. And nonetheless, the conversation turns on to Drew Sidora. Now, Drew Sidora is interesting because she said that Ralph is sanctioned by the judge to live into the basement, and that I think 1 or 2 weekends a month he's allowed to have the house for the weekend, and Drew's not allowed to be there. And they have to communicate through an app that's monitored by the judge. Child, what? And so nonetheless, basically, Drew is putting 20 on 10 on whatever this relationship is with her and Dennis, and that he's producing songs. I did find the shade funny that Kenya threw, asking about, why didn't Dennis step in and produce Porsha's Flatline, or produce something else after Porsha's Flatline? I did find that funny, but nonetheless, I don't know what Drew's doing. And for people who are trying to make this seem like Porsha is jealous of Drew and Dennis I don't think that's the issue. I think Porsha, from a producer's standpoint, I think she's upset that Drew called and basically begged Porsha to come back on this show. And when she comes back to the show, she's thinking, okay, we're supposed to be friends. We're supposed to be talking about growing our friendship, and the fact that you're my ambassador for Go Naked Hair. The fact is that you're, X, Y, and Z. And you're apparently, doing this whole album with Dennis behind my back. You're apparently having this birthday party that you're supposed to invite me to, but Dennis is sending me an invite to. Then there's rumors that got back to my best friend Shamia that you and Dennis were spotted holding hands in the club. So it seems like you're being sneaky. And then Porsha exposed on the Breakfast Club Drew Sidora tried to have a photo shoot for Go Naked Hair without Porsha's knowledge or permission. But the thing is, Porsha is, the owner of Go Naked Hair. And so nonetheless, she felt like Drew was trying to attach herself to everybody associated with Porsha and trying to basically be Porsha. And that's what Porsha wasn't featuring. I don't think she cares. I mean, technically it would be breaking girl code if they are actually friends and she did get with Dennis, but I don't think that's really the issue. The issue as much is the shape up for the show was that basically if we can't go at Porsha with her and Simon, we're going to pivot now and go at Porsha via Dennis. And so, like y'all peep what I'm saying? Y'all follow me here? So y'all couldn't extract out of Porsha what y'all wanted to about how her and Simon got together and the fact that it's over, because even they tried to give a little with, Porsha being mad at Shamia calling Simon her bro, and she was like, no. I think they pivoted and switched over to Dennis because they wanted Porsha to still be the main topic, right? So they're going to have Drew's connection to Dennis. We saw the shade that Britt threw that she went out on a date with Dennis. However, and he got her a diamond necklace, but it wasn't the type of diamond necklace that she has on now, that she doesn't think that Dennis's hot dog buns at the time could have afforded, the type of diamond necklace that she has on now. So nonetheless, they're going to try to find different angles to try to come at Porsha. And since the Simon angle isn't going to work with trying to grill her about how her and Simon got together, they're going to pivot and now try to push whether or not something inappropriate is going on with Drew and Dennis. I think it's phony baloney, but nonetheless, maybe some people will buy it. Then we get like a little bit of a cliffhanger of the episode with Drew Sidora and Dennis on Are They or Aren't They? We see a preview for next episode where it sounds like, Porsha cusses out Drew Sidora at the birthday party. And everybody's kind of reminiscing, and Drew's like, well, I don't think Porsha really told me how she felt, and it looks like Angela Oakley is telling her, but she cussed you out and called you all these names, so she definitely told you how she felt. And we see Porsha basically flat out asking Dennis if he's bleeping Drew. Now, here's the thing with Porsha and Dennis. I don't know if we'll ever know for certain if her and Dennis on the low have an entanglement or whatever. Porsha's never going to reveal that information because I think she feels a way about all the attention Dennis attracts. And both Dennis and Simon, for whatever reason, desperately want a peach on the show. And so nonetheless, Porsha is not going to give the truth about if her and Dennis are doing anything. But she does make it a point to say that he's nice to her now because they are single. But, and as for Kenya and Cynthia. So Cynthia, I don't know how she's necessarily, I'm going to give it a couple of episodes because I want to see how Cynthia is going to really integrate with this group. But as of now, it seems like they're really trying to push for the newer girls, a certain demographic, a certain type of energy that I don't know how Kenya and Cynthia are going to, fit into that aspect. And maybe that's why they brought back Phaedra as well. It'll be interesting to see how she comes into the group also. Also, I was kind of disappointed that Angela Oakley did not get as big of an intro package as Kelly did and as Britt did. And we know Shamia was going to get. I felt that Angela Oakley deserved a bigger one, but maybe things got perhaps the whole point was to also have, Sheree back as well to maybe have this confrontation because she allegedly used to mess with Charles Oakley as well. And maybe that was supposed to be, a thing at this birthday party, but, maybe things didn't go well with negotiations with to come back or whatever else, or maybe Sheree felt maybe they lowballed her and just decided, I'm not going to be on this season or whatever else. So it kind of felt like something was missing. And it was funny, though, that Charles Oakley basically told Angela to go fix her wig. to go fix her and everything else. Well, I'm confused. If it was so hot Atlanta, why didn't any of y'all portable fans? Like, what was going on? And why didn't y'all change up the attire, wear something that was going to be more free-flowing and accommodate the weather better? I was just lost. But Shamia definitely did it big. It was a very extravagant party and everything else. She is bringing back the wealth and what people like to see. And even Nene Leakes was giving her props in the comments. So, that's what we want to see, the opulence, the wealth, the class on these housewife shows. And then we just want to see a little bit of shade, a little bit of mess. So we will see, how some of these feuds and how bad it gets. But I was pretty optimistic about, this first episode. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.